Speaking of good, this man should be very, very good this year in Supercross 2021. Brought to you by VertexPistons.com. Sales at PivotWorks.com. Get a 2-stroke, 4-stroke piston, whatever it needs. Comes as stock in KTM, Husqvarna, and gas gases in the 2-strokes from the folks at VertexPistons.com. Let's bring our first guest of the night from Red Bull KTM. It is Supercross champ, Cooper Webb. What's up, Webb? How are you, man?
Hey, man. How's it going? All good?
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We just got the scoop. This summer, you're going to have a new rider out there, Coop, that you got to watch out for in the 450 motocross class. He's coming back to America.
Oh, is it official?
Yeah, it's official. So,
breaking the internet.
How worried are you on a scale of 1 to 54? Are you, Coop, about this guy coming back?
He's going to be a 3-digit guy. I don't think he even has that.
Fuck you, dude.
What, you think you should get 2-digit, Phil?
I think I deserve a 2-digit, but
what? Coop, will you give him number 2? Will you relinquish the rights for that?
Hopefully he gets the highest 3-digit they have.
Come on.
Hey, Coop, Mathis is trying to get Phil to take 111, and I'm like, dude, Phil, if you get lapped at any point in any moto, Langston will get so mad at disrespecting the 111 legacy. Phil, don't do it.
Yeah, he's got options. He can always bring it back to the 175, man. That was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
175 wouldn't be so bad.
Mini Coop.
Maybe Malot's got an old Red Bull helmet you can just put on and just wear it. Just remember you were a Red Bull amateur guy for a little bit there.
Man.
Jams program, maybe.
Can we bring the 715 back?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
715 would be cool, but Steve is.
Yeah, no.
Don't do that.
Set on
Was it
111?
178 or whatever the hell
You're
that
a-
was? You
I'm
just
not-
killed
no,
yourself
no,
on.
no.
You're
Don't
a
do that.
past Supercross champion, and you deserve 111, like Everett's and Albie and Langston and everything else, Phil. We already know that. What are the? All right, that should be good. Coop, thanks for coming on. How's boot camp? How's everything going? How do you feel?
Yeah, so far so good. It's the normal, getting ready for Supercross. Nothing's really changed on my end.
Right.
Still at Alden's, still same guys down here, same bike, and just grinding away. But so far so good, and it's getting close, man.
What's the scrimmages like with you, Marv, and Zacho? That's got to be intense.
Yeah. It's nice having Marv back. We missed him last year in boot camp and stuff. So we're definitely battling hard each day, and it makes for some excitement, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll be ready. In a few days, I guess.
You said you said same program earlier, and maybe that is, but do you make any changes? Like Alden's running the same thing. I mean, we know you missed last summer with an injury. Do you kind of just, hey, this is what won me a title. This is the biking I did. This is the laps I did. Like Alden just runs everything the same?
Yeah, so far it's been, the only I'd say change would be with outdoors, which I missed it anyways, but ending later. We got a little bit of a later start than normal, but we're also, January 16th, so
right.
It still worked out. That was the only kind of different thing, was starting, like, I think I started the 12th or something in November, so a little later than I guess what normally we're always at, but at the same time that's when I was back healthy, so
right.
It worked out for me. But it is a little weird starting by then. Normally you're almost kind of like 6 weeks into it, so
right.
That was a little different. But it's the same as 2019 as of now. Like I said, Marv's back,
sure.
And Zacho, and we got RJ in the mix too, so it's some good quality guys, and we're just grinding away, man.
Do you have a question?
With this, like the delayed schedule, and then you're stuck in one city there. I talked to you about this kind of at the beginning of the offseason. Is there any changes you have to make after that? Like, how's it going to work when you get to Houston? You're not going to be able to go back home. Is anyone worried about that, or are there changes that you make, or you're like, hey, we just have to be ready and sit there in the hotel and then go race again?
Yeah, it'll be a lot different. I think Salt Lake was, a little bit of a warm-up, but we were there for a whole month, to where, these ones with 3 will definitely be a little different, also with the weather. We got lucky in Salt Lake where the weather was super nice, and I think Houston will probably be okay, but, Indy's going to be cold, so
yep.
It's going to be different. A lot of probably indoor training, not much riding during those ones, and it'll be a lot different, that's for sure. But everyone's kind of in that same scenario, and we'll see. It's a lot different than what we're used to, that's for sure.
We had RV and Jake on the show in Weimar here in studio, and they got hammered last week, Coop. But before they got hammered, we were asking them about. And RV said that he could see, and I think he said this. RV said he could see guys jetting off on Wednesday to ride at home and coming back. Do you see any of that happening for anybody, or for yourself, or anybody, just to go, like Indianapolis, for example, right? It's too cold. Do you see any of that going on for you or anybody else?
I don't know, man. For me, definitely not. I mean, we're just staying and not chancing anything. I'm sure there'll be someone, probably, like you said, but
right.
I mean, that's never really crossed my mind. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it'll be a lot different. But at that point, if you're worried about one day of riding, I'd say you're probably pretty worried.
So there's no secret track in Texas that you guys have been looking up or negotiating with or anything like that for Houston?
No, so far, no. We, I mean, I think the team said they're going to bring a spare bike, obviously just to have on the semi, and if it works out where there's something available, then we go, and
right.
if not, it doesn't work out. I think, like I said, with Utah, it was a longer time we were there, so you could kind of plan and schedule and do everything. But I mean, now we're going all over, and there's only the three that were there for the whole week, and it's really these first two that are the ones where, at least for me, like when we get back to Orlando, Daytona, Atlanta, those are all really close to where I'm at here in Florida. So.
Yep.
It's a lot easier when it comes to that. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, maybe some people will have a different strategy and try to, get as much riding in as they can. But, we'll kind of all be in that same position of kind of secluded and bubble life, I guess, man.
Yeah, 702-586. Pulp, you got a question for Cooper Webb from Red Bull KTM. Give us a call. Last year, Coop, you were a fan of that Salt Lake thing. I mean, I know – you made a joke about it financially, but besides that, you seem to like it. You seem to thrive there. And so I'm suffice to say, you're looking forward to this again, or are you dreading this? Like, where are you at with the?
No, I mean, it's a lot different for sure. I mean, it's. I was really hoping, back after Salt Lake, like I think we all kind of thought, like, oh yeah, 21 will be back to normal.
Yeah.
We'll
yep.
start at Anaheim and do the thing, but. Obviously, that's not the case. So I think, like you said, for me, I'm excited. It's a bit more racing, and I mean the places we're going, I think are good places. I enjoy all of them. I think I'm curious to see how Atlanta will be, at the NASCAR and not in a stadium. But they're all, I'd say, good venues, good stadiums, good tracks with good dirt. So that's nice. And yeah, I mean, I keep saying it, but it's we're all going to be in that same situation, and I think I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy racing a lot, so to be able to race 3 times is always exciting. And there's obviously risk of, say, if something goes bad and trying to recover within a few days, but
right.
That's why we kind of have the group of people we have, whether it be the trainers or
right.
team members or whoever it is, to try to solve any issues, whether it be testing or bikes or body, whatever it may be. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to kind of that schedule and racing like we do. And honestly, even kind of breaking it up, like later on when we do get the weekends off with, 2 and sometimes 3 weeks in between will definitely be nice, I think. And, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Oi, I mean, we talk a lot, but I never really asked you this. Last year for Salt Lake, you rented a bitchin' motorhome. Are you going to go that route this year as well, or are you just going to stick the hotel route? How are you working it?
Yeah, this year just hotel route. I mean, it's just logistics-wise. I mean, I probably could have got on it a bit more, but I'm just like, we'll just do hotel and just live it up, man.
Yeah.
Do you need a man friend or anybody to come out for, like Phil? Like, do you want him to come out and hang out with you and like maybe work out with you or something? Anything?
He couldn't hang.
Oh boy. Yeah. What about if something happens and anybody needs a fill-in ride, throw Phil's name in there, Coop. He's Supercross champion.
I already asked him. I said, bro, why aren't you racing Supercross? And he's trying to blame it on his hand.
Dude, my hand took a while.
Oh,
My hand.
last year's deal.
Yeah. What do you mean? Last year's
Well,
deal.
Phil, there's 17 races. I mean, is your hand still holding you back, or maybe you can miss the first?
No, now I'm good to go, but I don't have a bike and just stuff didn't work. I thought I was going to Canada a month ago. Fuck, don't attack me.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry, Phil. I mean, God.
The hand.
Yeah.
He didn't mention the hand.
I
today at
guess he
lunch.
just doesn't want it bad enough.
No,
Oh,
exactly.
fuck, here we fucking
Exactly.
go. I
Did-
can't wait to roadblock the fuck out of you in the summertime. I don't mean, anybody else can go by me,
That's
but
the
the number
first thing
two,
you
I'm
told us.
cross jumping, I'm swerving like a motherfucker.
That'll be great.
We got the breaking news last week, and that was the first thing he said was he can't wait to whole shot me and just hold me up as long as
Yeah.
he can.
Roadblock
And he's just gonna let everyone else by.
Yeah, and I have
I'm
no
like,
problem
thanks,
putting
Phil.
my bike through that Red Bull KTM rig either, okay?
So only for Coop. There's
Yeah,
nobody else, right?
only for Coop.
Everybody else can go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fantastic.
Coop won't press charges or nothing, so I'm cool with it.
Right. Maybe chase Coop down after the checkers, like in Canada. I mean, that was fucking awesome too, Phil. That was great. God, dude.
No threatening. Just don't
Guys
go that
he goes to another country. He thinks he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Right.
No, he
Typical
doesn't.
cocky American.
He's happy to live in a camper for 2 weeks.
Oh, God. Talk about misery, but...
You would have thought he would have had his hand strong that way.
Dude. Come on, bro.
Hey, he brought his chick out here. She's here. Coop.
Wow.
Yeah, like he
Oh, don't fucking
Yeah.
start, Coop.
he like this seems
Yeah,
more serious.
I can't talk, so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, exactly. You said I do. I haven't yet.
Hey, Coop just backs down right away.
Yeah,
like, you see
exactly.
That?
He knows.
Right. There's certain
Yeah,
things he can get you on, but that
exactly.
one
Yeah.
he's like stepping
Yeah.
out. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already done more with this girl, Phil, than you did with your last one that we never saw, and she had to pay for all her flights to get to the races.
That's a lie, too, but...
She said she had to pay for all her flights to
Oh,
get to the
God.
races.
Listen.
Sore subject.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Coop. Appreciate it.
Now we got a Vegas vacation here. Couples
Yeah.
retreat.
Yeah.
Right.
And soon
That's
I'll
big.
Right.
Are the Bellagio fountains going?
I think so.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great place to propose.
It is.
It
yeah.
is a great
Yeah.
place.
Listen,
Yep.
I seen one buddy say I do this year. I'm good for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Put the brakes on.
One poor guy already walked the plank.
Oh boy.
I won't put. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Phil's holding strong. Phil's holding
Were you
up
in the
strong.
wedding party, Phil?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
All right. Just
no.
checking.
I might as well have been. I had to pretty much do everything. His best man was fucking worthless.
Was that Caddy?
No,
Oh.
Seth.
Oh, Seth was
Worse.
best
It
man.
should have been Caddy. Seth was fucking horrible.
I like that Caddy guy.
Caddy was awesome. He's actually texted me, said to say hi.
Caddy, you brought Caddy here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he was a rad dude.
Yeah,
Right.
Caddy's cool.
Right.
Yeah,
So
super
Seth was
solid.
useless.
Yeah. Useless. Couldn't fucking do anything. We were gonna go to New Orleans, get a houseboat,
Yeah.
this, that. Hurricane came, and then Seth's like, dude, I don't know what to fucking do. So he's calling me, and my chick ends up getting us a house on Lake Norman, and just kind of like worked everything out. And yeah, Seth did nothing.
So once the hurricane,
And then, like, we go out as boys, and
Right.
then next thing you know, Seth sees a chick, and he's locked in.
oh, that doesn't sound like a Seth I know.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't matter what type of chick or who it was or whatever, it was game on. He would dedicate 5 hours to her, and Cooper's just like out on his own.
Oh, poor
Hey,
Seth.
well, he had us dialed in with a good for our suits. Get those dialed in.
For sure. Gets the suits late, and then he's just like, hey, man, we're in California, day before the wedding. He goes, I don't have anyone to iron the suits. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm like, you're in California. Somebody should be able to fucking
Yeah.
do it. He's like, I can't. So he brought like 6 suits over, and I'm over there with a fucking...
The spray thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the spray steamer. The steamer thing. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Have
doing
all
this.
these fucking suits hung up at the house, and I'm doing every single one. I'm like,
So, don't get Seth to organize anything for me. Is that what
No,
you're saying?
no.
Right. Okay.
worthless.
Right. Okay.
Worst fucking dude on the planet to do anything like that. You know?
Oh, he's a trainer. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he got his
Oh,
workouts in.
fuck it. Yeah. Love you, Seth Rowe.
Oh
Man.
boy.
I can't even comment.
Yeah. Weege, you got a question?
No, now I'm gonna be
No.
the police here if I start asking racing questions. We got much better stuff going now. I'm not gonna start asking about like
I mean,
heart rate
Weege
training.
came.
And,
Yeah, I mean, Weege came to the bachelor party. He hung out for
Coop,
a day.
did you see Weege and his bloody face? Like, did you see that?
Yeah.
What-
Oh, I was
Yeah.
hoping he didn't. Damn it.
Fucking
Ride
guy,
her down.
guy crashes a bachelor party and cuts his face open on a truck.
On my truck door.
On your
yeah,
truck
yeah,
door,
Yeah, yeah.
like, what a-
Ben's daughter and my son were going ballistic, and they were cramping my style, and it was getting me mad because I wanted to hang out with the guys. So I went to yell at them. I opened the door of the truck to scream at them to shut up, and I nailed myself in the face of the door. And I'm like, no one saw it. I'm good. And then I realized I had blood all over me, and I'm like, ah!
Is this better or worse than the beard you had to grow for Motocross of Nations?
When I
Because-
crashed my mountain bike,
Yeah.
might have cost me a TV job.
God,
How did this
dude.
get on me?
Yeah, it wasn't
Anyway.
from Weege sculling a beer or anything.
Right.
It's fucking.
I appreciate you guys having me out. That's all.
I mean, it was a pretty bad cut. Like, you come out like you look like you got beat up.
Dude,
little
I didn't think you
scratch.
saw it. Damn it.
God, why again? And like he's already kind of like happy to be there. He's not, he's not super tight with Coop, but he's good to be there.
Yeah, I don't want to
But-
like raise
right.
any like
But-
red flags or.
But
any,
you're
yeah.
you're the guy that like showed like
Oh, dude, it
hey,
was.
who let this guy in and look at his
Yeah,
face.
No, that's how. We
Right.
can't have a
Yeah.
fucking media guy there to hang out with us on a bachelor party. I'm like, dude, we're fucking riding. It's Weege. I mean, what
Yeah.
the fuck's he gonna
But
do?
then he
understand that.
causes a scene by getting
yeah,
himself cut
exactly.
open.
I
Right,
was
Almost
more
had to call a
embarrassed than you
fucking
guys did.
ambulance to come stitch him up.
right, right. God,
We're
dude.
good. No scarring. We're good. All right, we're gonna go
Yeah.
back to racing here. We're gonna go back to racing. Coop,
Let's do it.
you've always been like a racer's racer, right? Like you've got it down with the Bakers program now, but you always said in the past at least that you would show up on race day and that's where you'd bring your best stuff. So do you think with these weirdo schedules that we had to race at the end of the year last year and this year, does that actually like play to your strength where no one can have a super dialed program, no one can have all the boxes checked. You're just gonna have to, whenever the heck they're dropping the gate, just figure it out. Does that actually help you? You think?
I'd like to think so. I think, like you said, the biggest thing is this first one is really you got to come in ready to go. Obviously, fitness. I'd say the big thing would be bike setup. Because you show up at round one and you're not stoked. You're not going to hit the test track to be able to go test with your team and try all this stuff. And so yeah, I think for me, it should be an advantage of kind of being that way, I guess, of when I show up to the race, I'm usually pretty happy with my bike. I feel like I'm usually in the mix and can kind of adjust accordingly, whether it be the track conditions or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think for me it'll be good, and having the same bike and basically the same thing I ended last year's Supercross with is, I think, a huge advantage. And yeah, I like it. I mean, I like where I'm at with everything. I like the schedule. I like how, you're going to have to adjust mentally. If you go out there in round one, you get absolutely smoked. I think you could see a downhill spiral for a lot of guys. So, like I said, I think for me it's going to be exciting and a challenge that none of us have really dealt with before. Like I said, even in Salt Lake, if you didn't like your bike or you were struggling, whatever, we were all capable of riding and kind of having tracks to ride and the weather and this and that, to where, like I said, this is you're going to really have to trust your team and trust yourself and be able to make an adjustment within a day or two and without being able to go to a track or ride or anything like that. So yeah, I'm excited, and I think it'll be something that none of us have ever really had to face. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, JT, we talked about this in our shows and stuff. Like, no matter where Coop qualifies, or even if the whoops are big and he's struggling, or whatever happens in practice or the heats, like if Webb comes around the first turn in front, like
Yeah.
it's on. Like
And-
we all admire that Coop. We're like, oh, he didn't look good all day, and then that fucking guy.
I was super guilty of that. I
Right.
have to be honest, because there were so many races. I remember Detroit was one that I was like, this isn't going to go well. Like, he was not
Right.
You weren't good in the whoops, and they were killing you all day long. I think you qualified like 8th, And I'm like, this is going to be a round where he's going to give up some points. And then, of course, he gets a start, and then none of it matters anymore, right? The whoops are totally different at night. So all those worries are gone. You get the start, and then you're racecraft and mentally strong enough to overcome all that, and then it doesn't even matter anymore.
He's just a gamer. Like when the gate drops, it's just like, all right, it's on.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but something changed. San Diego last year, we all know you struggled in the whoops, and then San Diego had some monster fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, and you came out and you were matting them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What changed? And don't give the typical BS answer. Oh, it felt good that night. Whatever. What changed on the bike, because it was pretty substantial? Like, what was the difference? Because your whoop speed increased quite a bit, and obviously, if you can find 0.2%, that's where it comes
God, those
from.
things
because,
were dirty too.
Yeah, they were
freaking
fucking
brutal.
gnarly. But Coop is not known for that, to jump through them, which he switched to the jumping, later on in the main event. But all through the day, he was blitzing them, and through the rest of the year, it was never really an issue. So what changed? Chassis, suspension, motor?
Yeah, it actually was the week before Oakland, because we had went to Phoenix and we did the Triple Crown, and I got 4th overall in the Triple Crown, but to be honest, I got smoked. Like, I pulled, I think, 2 out of the 3 hole shots, and the other one I started, I think, 2nd, and my scores were like, I don't even remember, like a 5, 4, 5, and I started up front, got past. Those were the really long, like, slick whoops, and I just struggled with the track, with the whoops, with speed, everything. And that week, I mean, we sat down as a team with my mechanic and Roger and Ian, and I mean, they were not happy with the way that the season had kind of been going. I mean, obviously I started off with that sickness, but even, Phoenix, I was healthy and just straight up, like, wasn't there. And I think we just kind of set it out. Like, it had always been, especially in 2019, it was always like, hey, the whoops were bad, but I could jump them, or I could make it through them good enough to not get my night totally ruined. And I think it just so happened that Phoenix was, like I said, Triple Crown, where you can't hide from it. Or shorter main event, like, it was emphasized. And as a team, we changed a lot with suspension, and just kind of put our heads together on what exactly I felt like I needed to feel comfort-wise and what we needed to do. And, we gave up in some other areas, and I think that was something that I had never really done before on the KTM, was like my turning is just something that I felt was always really good, and we had to kind of give that up a little bit to make it work in the whoops a bit better. And and I think just too, like, Raj was pretty pissed. I mean, he was straight up like, look, you won this championship, you won the most races last year, and after these first 4 rounds, you're not even a top 3 guy. Like, what the hell? And I remember he asked me, like, do you want to win a championship, or are you just content? And so we, obviously I'm a guy that gets pretty fired up, and I went to Oakland, and the whoops weren't big at Oakland, but I actually were really good in the whoops that night. They were, like I said, they weren't big or anything, but, I was good in them, and that was the night, that kind of, I think, started the series turning point, like, passing Kenny in the last turn, and then, being right there with those guys. I think Eli beat me by like a second or 2, and that's when it was San Diego, and just that momentum, and still building off that, and going to San Diego, like you said, there was 2 back-to-back whoops, and being really good in them all day, I think, just helped confidence-wise. And then, like you said, we went to the main, and I skimmed them for, I think, about half the main, and then we went to the jumping line, and it all worked out. And ever since then, I felt like we were in a good spot, and even in Salt Lake, I felt like my whoops were never holding me back extremely. I think the one race I struggled in the really long set, but other than that, I felt like I wasn't the top end of the field by any means, but I had fixed them, and even this off season, that's been a huge emphasis on them, and kind of changing technique and working on how I can really improve that, because like I said, I know how to jump them, and with all these East Coast races that we're doing, more than likely going to be going that route. But I felt like, hey, if I can be a top 5 guy in the whoops on any given night, then I'm going to up my opportunity to be able to win on any night. So this off season, we've really been dialing in on that and making that really our goal is to, my starts have always been good and continue to be good. My turning's good, my racecraft, all that's good, but I felt like the real missing link that I've had the last few years has been the whoops. So I really tried to focus in on that and improve, and I feel like I've made big steps. So we'll see in a few weeks.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking to myself, like, I think we had Bam Bam on the show, and I was thinking, like, when are you going to California and all this kind of, but why? You don't need to go to California anymore. You don't need to ride that dirt.
Yeah.
We're going east. I mean, Houston's hard packed. Atlanta would be new dirt, I guess. So, yeah, like, we're going into an East Coast Supercross series here, that type of stuff. So, you'll stay based out there, right?
Yeah, and that's what, the team came about 2 weeks ago, and we did majority of our testing at Albans. And, like you said, it's something that's so different from not starting in Anaheim, and, them taking Glendale off kind of changed things. And like you said, now we might get some of the East Coast one, Orlando, who knows what kind of dirt it'll be. I mean, Houston can be a little more hard packed, but, the last few times we've raced it, it's always been pretty dang good, and ruddy and stuff. And obviously Indy's always that way. And I'm sure, like we saw at Salt Lake, and that dirt wasn't the greatest dirt, but by the third race in a venue, it's going to harden up, just like the kind of the European style races are on night 3 where they harden up. So, but I don't think we're going to really see like a proper blue groove track until Salt Lake,
Well, Phil, how do you think Coop's going to do this year? What's your opinion? What's your prediction for Supercross? Give us some analysis.
We all know the weak link.
He's the SX champ too.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, last year started a little bit rough, but
he was coming around right before.
Yeah, I mean, Houston last year hurt him obviously, but I think
it's Dallas, bro.
Was it Dallas? Yeah, it was one of the bullshit Texas rounds. But yeah, if you find 0.2% in the whoops, it's game over.
Game over.
I think so. It'd be
Hey, Coop, when you have a big crash like you did in Dallas, and
it wasn't that big.
Okay.
Oh, really?
It wasn't that big.
Okay.
He rolled out of it pretty easy. Yes, I would have.
You know what he texted me that night?
What?
He goes, if you would have just got on your bike and rolled around, you still would have got 11th in that main. And then if you would have just lined up on the gate for the main event 3, there was already guys out. You would have gotten, instead of 8th overall, you would have gotten a 6th.
I don't care how bad it hurts. Get on it.
Oh, what about you at Dallas, Phil? When you crashed on your RMZ 250 there, if you just would have got up, Phil.
Besides, I almost lost my leg, but yeah.
I mean, if you just would have got up, Phil.
That was press day, though.
Okay, well, just line up for your heat. I mean,
I will say in Phil's defense, the Phil Nicoletti crash we watch on YouTube is really more devastating than even Coop's Dallas crash.
It is, yeah.
And he was unhurt.
Coop, have you seen the Cowie test track crash from Phil?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That's MX fails.
Right.
No, I only said that because we were talking about it. I was just like, man, just like when it comes down to it,
bro, he hit the concrete pretty good. Okay, so he's a pussy.
No, he's not a pussy.
Okay, I'm just trying to get where you're getting at.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, fuck, I don't know. JT, what would you have done?
I get it.
Hypothetically.
How many times have you seen Coop not get up when he needs to get up?
Exactly.
Right.
Clearly, there was a problem.
Right.
We were just saying.
There's some riders that they tip over and they're done for the night, and then they, magically they're fine. If Coop is,
if he could have, I know that.
He's out.
I'm just saying, you could have done this.
So basically, I know that if there's any way you could have gotten out there, you would have gotten out there, but you still should have anyway.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
You always think when something like that happens, you think of, what if I could have saved these points here or there? I've never been in that sort of championship thing.
Well, you won a Canadian Supercross title.
Yeah, okay, for sure, dude. And
the one round I went to, you got worked.
Where?
Montreal.
I thought he had to get worked.
Yeah. You got worked.
By Mookie?
Consistency's key.
Well,
Hey, no, that was
also,
that was after the booze cruise.
Brayton went home. Mookie went home. Just weird that way. The guys that worked you all went home, and then you end up winning the title.
Yeah. But they got show-up money for that event. I didn't. I had to stay.
This was the booze cruise where I got on you for that.
Yeah.
It
didn't go bad, though.
It didn't. No, I was very upset with you. In the middle of a championship, he's on a booze cruise.
Coop was happy with the performance.
Right.
Yeah, man, it worked out.
Yeah. I think even Coop said something on Instagram where I was bagging on it, and Coop was like, yeah, we won or whatever. So I didn't know that Phil was on the MC in '96 program. I didn't know that would work.
For 8 minutes, I think anybody can get by. It's not that complicated.
That was your Lake Havasu.
Yeah,
that was your
exactly.
Lake Havasu. Okay.
Coop, one of the best stories we heard last year from some people that were on the line at Salt Lake was you yelling some stuff. That was awesome. We loved it. We got some firsthand accounts from people that were down there. It's great. So
it happens.
Hey, it's racing, man.
You know?
There's a lot on the line, man. And so, yeah, absolutely, right?
Mathis and I love that you were asked about it in one of the virtual press conferences. They're like, hey, have you been trying to get in everybody's head? And you just go, yeah, I'm trying. Like you didn't deny it at all.
I mean, I was, it didn't really work. But,
I like
trying to cut in the points any way we can.
Right, absolutely. So, all right, Coop, we'll let you go here. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. We'll see you in a couple weeks or 12 days in Houston 1.
Yeah.
Thanks for the time tonight, man.
Yeah, thank you guys, and I enjoyed it. You guys
all
have a good one.
Thanks, Coop.
Dick.
All right, see you.
Yeah, see ya.
Hey,
Cooper Webb, everybody, brought to you by VertexPistons.com. Sales at PivotWorks.com for a deal on 2-stroke, 4-stroke pistons. No matter what brand of bike you ride, when it's time to rebuild your top end, Vertex Pistons will have your engine performing better than new.